New cell phone video has emerged featuring Sandra Bland's arrest in Texas from her perspective. This is video that she shot from her own phone, which hadn't been disclosed previously. And it appears that this video does further debunk some of the accusations or claims made by the officer who arrested her. That was actually Trooper Brian Encinia. Now, this never before seen cell phone video is difficult to watch, especially when you consider what the outcome of that story was. Sandra Bland was found hanged in her jail cell, and the authorities initially treated this as a murder or a homicide, and then later they determined that she had taken her own life. Now, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and toss the video. If you have a difficult time watching this type of content, I just want to make sure you're warned about it. And let's take a look.
Get out of the car now.
Why am I being apprehended? You trying to give me a ticket for your failure?
Get out of the car.
Why am I being apprehended? You just opened my car door. You just opened my car door. So you threatening to drag me out of my own car.
Get out of the car.
And then you gonna stun me?
I will light you up. Get out.
Wow.
Now.
Wow.
Get out of the car.
Really, for a failure to signal. You doing all of this for a failure to signal.
Get over there.
Right, yeah. Yeah, let's take this to court. Let's do it.
Go ahead.
For a failure to signal. Yep, for a failure to signal.
Get off the phone.
On my school.
Get off the phone.
I'm not on the phone. I have a right to record. This is my property. This is my property. Sir?
Put your phone down right now.
So he's obviously angry that she's filming, and you are paid by taxpayers, so you are a public servant and they should be able to record you, but that's beside the point. He had alleged that he feared for his life. Keep in mind that now that we see the video from her perspective, he's holding a taser at her face, to her face, and he's threatening to light her up. This was his exact quote: "Get out of the car, I will light you up, get out now." So, and why is this video now being released, right? This video wasn't used in the case, the perjury case against the trooper. And so, I don't know, this story, in addition to all the other stories that we've done on police brutality, are so unsettling, and it enrages me. So jump in. Let me know what you guys think.
Yeah, it's kind of like similar to when a mother is mad at a kid, about to give him a spanking, not an officer who has rules and protocol that they're supposed to follow. And I was under the assumption that any sort of weapon is to stop violence. Not just, but we've seen in a video, we saw an officer pull out an actual gun because someone was running away from him. That happened in North Charleston.
Yeah.
And we saw here an officer pull out a taser and point it at someone because she wasn't following the rules. Not because she was attacking him, not because she was a danger to herself or others, but because she wasn't doing what he said to do. And so he threatened to physically harm her because she wasn't listening to him. And
that doesn't
seem, yeah.
And then later received support from his bureau. So we see that
he said he feared for his life, which we see in that video.
It's absurd.
Yeah.
It's absurd. And is it great, like, I mean, this video really needs, for people who don't understand how white privilege works, this video would be a great starter course for them, right? Because when you look at someone like Sandra Bland, who's clearly distrustful of the police in that video, there's obviously a good reason for it. There's obviously a clear reason that she has to be distrustful of the police when they're sticking a taser in her face. And then when after her death, they're supporting each other rather than trying to get the truth out into the open. I mean, that's clear also, right? There's a bureau going on here that is protecting her and insulating, or protecting each other rather, and insulating themselves from telling the story and failing to protect her.
Yeah, that's part of the problem. I do agree that there are good cops out there, but the issue is that they don't come out and speak out against the problematic cops.
This is what puts their lives in danger.
Right.
This is what makes people not believe when a police officer says, "I feared for my life." These videos like this. I'm sorry to interrupt you because you're right.
No, it's a good
point. The problem
point.
is that they don't say, "Hey, this is a bad guy and I'm speaking out against it."
Exactly, yeah. And I want to just quickly do a refresher on the perjury charge against the trooper. Now, the trooper was caught lying. He lied about the details of what occurred that day, and as a result, he was facing perjury charges. But he actually took what appears to be some sort of plea deal, and so he didn't have to serve any type of jail time, but he had to promise that he wouldn't, or he had to give up his right to practice as a trooper or a cop in the state of Texas, though. So if he moves out of state, I mean, that's a different jurisdiction, and he could technically apply to be a cop. And I mean, is that really, if any average American is perjuring themselves, is that the kind of treatment that they get, right? I mean, it's insane. And also, how did this tape come about? Well, investigators discovered video of Bland's 2015 traffic stop confrontation with this state trooper on her cell phone 2 months after her death, but never informed the public of its existence. Why? Why did they not inform the public of its existence? And then finally, I want to read a quote from the Bland family attorney. His name is Cannon Lambert, and he says, so if the video showed that he had no basis of being in fear of his safety and he lied about that, then you would think prosecutors would be using that video. And so he lied again. He lied about fearing for his life, and that's abundantly clear in the way that he's reacting to her, the way that he's holding a weapon to her face, a taser.
What's so frustrating about this video not coming out is that prosecutors, the police department, they are not defense attorneys. Defense attorneys have a job, and sometimes it's a nasty job, but it's what holds our Constitution together and keeps people accountable. But defense attorneys have a job to do whatever it takes to protect their client. Prosecutors, state's attorneys' offices, and police departments, the people that they're supposed to protect are everyone.
Right.
And oftentimes, it becomes, they behave like defense attorneys. And so the prosecutors act as if their client is the state. So even though the right thing to do would be to release this video and to make things fair, because if wrong is wrong, even if it's on our side, it's like, no, we gotta just make sure that the state doesn't have to pay out anything here.
And I think
which is not how things are supposed to work.
It's not, and it's because in many cases, prosecutors have a friendly relationship with the cops. They're basically part of the same law enforcement family. And I think that corrupts some of the prosecutors, and not with money, but it corrupts their judgment because of those friendships that they develop through their careers. And there needs to be a way of doing things where they're independent and not working so closely with the cops that end up facing some of these charges.
And I think people who are, you mentioned that they're obviously good cops, and we all know that, and that's true. But I think people who are in the police force right now or moving in that direction need to understand the distrust that the public at large, particularly people of color, have for the police, and understand that their responsibility now, that part of the job is literally to undo that.
Yeah.
That is part of existing as a police officer in America now, and that they're carrying that burden, and they need to.
Right.
They need to help us get back to a place where there is trust in the police force. Not that I don't think we've ever been there, but we need to get towards that.
The TYT Plus app is now available on iOS and Android. Download to get more TYT content at tyt.com/app.